I'm here with my mate. This is who I'm going to be resuscitating today. I basically got a test tomorrow to do with resuscitation. These are like the main few steps that you need to kind of carry out to save them. So the first thing you do, you run up to our friend. He's lying on the floor. You're thinking, yo, can you hear me? Like, kas kula mint. And then you check pain behind his ear. Like, is he pain responsive? So it's AVPU. If he's alert, so he's reacting to my voice, V verbal, or P pain, and U means he's completely unconscious. And then you ask anyone around, you're like, how long has he been unconscious for? If he's been unconscious for a long time, you do ABC. So you do his airways, you open up his airways, and then you check if there's anything's in his mouth, if there's anything in there, if it's clear, anything blocking it. Then you check his breathing. Like, is he breathing? Like, all right, barely. So we need to assemble the breathing apparatus. So first we take the manual squeezer. Like, if you don't have one, you obviously got to use your mouth. But yeah, you take the manual airbag. Like, I will have one because I'm a paramedic. So I'll put a mask on, start giving 2 breaths, and then start doing the massage. But if you saw your friend or victim drop like in front of your eyes, then you're like, oh man, like he's got enough oxygen in his body. So you do CAB. So it's cardiovascular massage first, like resuscitation. A, airways, where you check his mouth, and B, breathing, where you check how much he's breathing, and so on. So you're doing all this, right? You've just, let's say we're going through ABC. You've done the 2 breaths, and now you're doing the massages. You do 30 of them, and then you interchange. You do 2 and then 30, 2 and 30, and you should be doing around 6 breaths per minute. But like, don't bother counting that. Just count the 2 and then the 30, and you should be doing like 2 pumps every second. So around 60 to 90 every minute. And whilst
do it! Just do it!
you're doing that, you just check his pulse now and then. Like, when you're doing the breathing, like if it's like stable, if you've got asystole, that's where like the heart rhythm goes a bit. But here, basically got written down here is what I mentioned. So like, you got AVPU, you assess you see if they can hear you, if they react to pain, and so on. And then you got the CAB, is when he's just fallen in front of you. So you do the massage first, and then you do ABC if you found him unconscious, and then make sure you put your apparatus together well, that you're communicating with people around you. So you're checking the flow rate, you're not breathing too hard into his lungs when you're kissing him, let's say. And obviously, like, that's the frequency I mentioned, it's a 2. And then if you got to do the heart, like when you're doing the heart massage, not doing it too deep that you're causing rib damage. Like, you don't want to be breaking the guy's ribs, man. Like, you're trying to save his life, and you're still doing like a good heart rate where it's like 100 to 120 beats per minute. And when you've kind of sorted the frequency out, and you know the pressure, the depth, and you're like being consistent, then you just do this until he comes back to life. Like, you bring him back, and that's basically how you save someone from like clinical death. See, I mentioned it here, up here, like clinical. Biological is when the guy's been dead for like 6 minutes and his brain is just mush. like complete mush, some bits. But anyway, after that exam, I've got a IV and IM exam. So like, I need to administer medicine to any ill person on the battlefield. And IV is basically when you put a cannula in. Main thing here, don't touch the needle with your hands. Even if you obviously got to put hands on, disinfect the hand, get the cannula ready so like all the buttons loose. Put the jgout on, like the tourniquet. Find your vein. Take the safety cap off. Alert the victim or like the patient that you're gonna poke him with some needle in it so he doesn't like jump out his skin out of nowhere. And then yeah, just make sure you're not making that area dirty, because if you get infected, that's it, man. You've done more worse than good bits. But you should do it on the butt cheek, the side of the leg, or the shoulder. It's usually how you get them vaccines, like, you know, like COVID vaccines have been going on at this moment in time. So basically, done the resuscitation. Now you got to help the victim with an injection. So he's just come to life, and you need to do an IV injection. So you do an IV because it's quicker. The patient can't swallow in tablet form, then it's the only route to go. So you just need to find another vein, have all your equipment ready. So like antiseptic, that's like the biggest downfall of an IV infusion, like administration of medicine, because it's going right into the vein and you don't want it to get septic. So so you got to keep your hands clean, not touching the needle at all. And or if you can't find the vein, then you got to do intramuscular. The downside is the bioavailability is not going to be as good, but like it's easier because you literally just pinch a bit of fat. So you could either go here on the side, on the shoulder, or right on the bottom basically, and you just pinch, administer it, and there you go. And then like it's so downside might take longer to react and you need bigger amounts of it. Upside, easier administration. Now you've either done IV or IM. You've decided what you want to inject on your patient. So now decide what medicine we want to give him. So as a paramedic, I've got a whole rainbow of things to give.
I can't f***ing believe it.
No, don't worry, mate. We'll get more drugs.
Morphine. Its primary treatment is for pain. Its side effect is vomiting, possible vomiting. But the main thing is like it might be very difficult for the patient or the victim to breathe, and if it's like a very hard trauma, you want to be careful how much you give him. Atropine is when you give a patient that is salivating a lot. So like instead of using an aspirating machine, give him atropine, and then you have less saliva, but it can cause severe dry mouth. Yeah, cause severe dry mouth basically, and like headaches and so on. But after atropine, we have diazepam, used for like seizures or like anxiety breakouts. Like, so if a victim's feeling anxious and scared, that will help him. Its side effect too, it affects the nervous system, but its side effect is dry mouth as well. And you've got the amiodarone, and then amiodarone, or like its other name, cortisone. That's when you're giving CPR to a victim. So, and you do that so that it helps the cardiovascular heart like to start beating again. But it's danger that it can lower blood pressure and cause vomiting. And I think that's most of them. Like paracetamol, you give them for fever and pain, and one of the side effects of it is allergies, anaphylactic shock. And that's the thing, you gotta be very careful with like the medicine you give a person, because like their side effects could be counteracting each other. But here basically, here's my notes, got some diagrams for you. How to administer an IM. You gotta put it in four, check, squeeze the butt.
Nice.
And inject. Then here's what an IV looks like. You'll clear all the bubbles out of the IV tube. Make sure it's all good. Have all your stuff ready for the procedure. Like obviously not roses and petals, but have them ready. And then remember to always keep 3 fingers on the cannula when you're inserting it, and pinch the skin with your other hand, like so, when you're putting it in. So you could even pinch the vein if need be. Yeah, you can if IV or IM doesn't work, you do IO, and that's like through the knee, but that's like a different story basically. Ready? How are you feeling?
Feeling like butt cheeks, bro.
Have you even wiped it yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Torge.
Maitse.
Shut up, bro. I can't. Bro. Shut up. Beg you.
Attempt number 2. Can you do it?
I can if you don't make me laugh my ass off.
I gotta set on bugger mindset. Fuck up. Oi.
Pop your hand now.
Oi.
Hold it. The knuckle.
That one's the easiest there. The massive one. Okay. Aren't you gonna talk to the patient, calm him down?
How are you feeling, bro?
No, I'm scared. I got some fat trying to inject me.
I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna laugh it in.
Oh no. Please don't. Okay.
Look at it, bro. Okay. Torge. Oh. I did it.
Or a little more.
ja lükka nüüd seda roosat ja seda plastikosa, korgiga osa tõmba enda poole. Lükka, julge.
Läheb raskelt. Just going, ta läheb väga raskelt.
Vaata. Tugev nahk. Valus ka, jah?
See on okei, see on okei.
See edasi teha, on jah? Ehk siis kui on sellises asendustes, ma lükkasin natuke õlaga, vaata.
Mul vedas, et see läks sessa korraga ja sul vedas ei saanud välja.
Sorry.
Ei, see oli huvitav. Ma küll sain midagi pahaks.
Võtta lahti.
Jaa.
Ma tegin lahti. Nüüd saab korgi ette panna. Ehk siis sa oled siia suruma. Surmega.
See siin oli nagu nendel ei tundnudki väga midagi.
Mulle see seal torgati, siis ma ei tundnud mitte sittagi, aga kui sina praegu torkisid, see oli tegelikult üks suht terav valu oli, kui sa liigutasid seda vaata. Kui paigal oli, see on üks just nagu see nahapinnal see liikumine läbi naha.
Nagu sa surusid kõvemini, ei meeldi kuulamine kinni onju.
okei ,
jah , okei , ma suutsin 2 korda
ma ei
mööda
saa rohkem lükata sisse .
ta ei ole nii
Võid ju proovida,
minu jaoks
milliseks
mitte .
ta läheb. Sest ta oli suht tugev, noh, sellepärast ta ei lähe edasi.
okei ,
Nad julgemast lükkama lihtsalt.
hey bro , secure the bag man , secure it . But it only took you 3 minutes and 40 seconds . I'll put this in your eye . Took bare long . Whoa, don't let the squid bro . Just take it off, innit? Take it off .